Welcome back to Dreamy Train Tales. Thank you for joining me tonight. Now let's settle down and begin our journey together. If this brings you peace, please like and subscribe so we can explore more historic railways together, but only if it truly helps you unwind. And if you'd like, please share in the comments where you're listening from and what time of day it is for you right now. If you genuinely appreciate these journeys, you can support my channel by buying me a coffee through the link in the description. Every coffee helps me improve and create even more relaxing adventures for you. Thank you so much for your support. Tonight, you find yourself standing beneath the vast iron canopy of Budapest Nyugati station in the winter of the 1910s, your breath curling in the frozen midnight air. Snow falls in gentle spirals, collecting on the brim of your hat, on your gloves, on the long platform lamps that flicker like tired eyes in the fog. The station is hushed, almost reverent, save for the steady chuff of the great Orient Express idling before you. Its polished brass fittings gleam in the dim light, and its deep blue carriages reflect faint glimmers of the surrounding frost. A conductor, his coat buttoned to the collar, steps down from the first carriage, tipping his hat in quiet greeting. "Bonsoir," he murmurs, his voice soft and carrying the lilt of Paris. The warmth spilling from the open door feels like a promise golden and still, in contrast to the icy breath of the platform. You step up into the train, the polished wood paneling and the scent of coal and perfume greeting you like an old friend. Your boots tap softly against the patterned carpet as you make your way down the narrow corridor. Lamps with frosted glass shades cast small halos of amber light, each reflection swaying gently as the train hums beneath your feet. Somewhere distant, a bell rings, once, twice, signaling the final call for passengers. The world outside fades into a soft hush of snow and smoke. Before we begin this journey together, take another slow breath. Feel your body settle deeper wherever you are. Let your jaw unclench. Your hands rest loosely in your lap. The rhythm of the train will soon become your rhythm too. The whistle cuts through the cold long and low, and then the motion begins, that subtle, almost imperceptible lurch forward. The carriages sway, the lamps tremble in their glass housings, and the familiar sound begins, the click of wheels finding rails, the steady pull of the engine gathering strength. The great city of Budapest glides slowly away, its lights blurring behind sheets of falling snow. Through your window, you glimpse the Danube River, dark and wide, its surface glinting faintly beneath the moon. Ice has begun to form along its edges, and the faint hum of the bridge's ironwork seems to echo the train's own heartbeat. Across the water, Buda Castle stands watch on its hill, a silhouette of pale stone and frozen battlements. For a brief moment, the reflection of the castle shimmers in the river, then disappears as the train curves eastward. Inside, the world is cocooned in warmth. A few passengers murmur softly in their compartments. A woman in a fur stole gazing through her frosted glass, a gentleman adjusting his pocket watch. The quiet hiss of the steam radiators beneath each window. The scent of tea drifts faintly from the dining car ahead, mingling with the faint perfume of polished wood and leather. You settle into your seat, watching the darkened countryside slip past. This railway, famed throughout Europe since its first full route to Constantinople in 1883, is more than a line of travel. It is a thread that stitches together empires and dreams. Tonight, it carries diplomats and merchants, travelers and poets, and you, a quiet soul seeking calm and stillness through the sleeping heart of the continent. The motion steadies, snow thickens outside, softening the landscape into a blurred tapestry of silver and white. You can no longer distinguish the outlines of houses or fences, only faint shapes drifting by like memories. The rhythmic pulse of the train becomes hypnotic, the sound a perfect lullaby, like a heartbeat measured in iron and steam. You lean your head back, feeling the gentle warmth radiate through the compartment walls. Your eyes wander to the brass luggage rack above, where the faint vibration hums in time with the rails. Every few moments, the conductor's footsteps pass outside your door, measured and steady, his lantern casting brief streaks of gold along the corridor. As the train leaves the outskirts of Budapest behind, the fields open wide, flat stretches dusted with snow and framed by lines of bare poplar trees. Farmhouses huddle against the wind, their chimneys sending thin trails of smoke into the frozen night. Dogs bark distantly, muffled by the snow, and the sound fades as the train glides deeper into the dark. A gentle voice from the next compartment hums a tune, low and wistful, perhaps Hungarian or Romanian. Its melody rises and falls with the rhythm of the rails. You listen without effort, the sound wrapping around you like an old lullaby. Outside, the moon rises higher, its light faint but constant, painting silver over the train's long blue hull. You catch glimpses of telegraph poles sliding by, their lines sagging slightly under the weight of snow, each pole vanishing into the white night behind you. You shift in your seat, drawing a wool blanket over your legs. The carriage rocks softly like a cradle. The click and hiss of the engine become the pulse of sleep itself, slow, steady, alive. Your breath begins to match its rhythm, each inhale a gathering of warmth, each exhale a gentle release. The world outside has vanished now, only motion remains, and that comforting sound of steel against steel, carrying you eastward toward the Carpathian Mountains. Somewhere ahead, deep in the snow-covered hills, the next station awaits. But for now, you rest in the in-between, not yet there, not yet gone, carried forward through the soft dark of the winter night. The night deepens as the Orient Express presses further into the Carpathian foothills, its glowing carriages slicing gently through the frozen dark. Snow falls in thicker sheets now, each flake catching the lamplight before vanishing into the swirling void beyond your window. The rhythmic clatter beneath your feet is slower, heavier, a sound of effort as the great locomotive climbs the rising track. Inside, everything feels enclosed and tranquil. The compartment walls hum faintly, carrying the vibrations of the rails like a soft, continuous lullaby. You glance at the window again, the condensation forming small rivers on the glass, tracing paths that shimmer in the lamplight. With a slow breath, you draw the curtain aside, revealing a glimpse of pine forests blanketed in snow, their boughs bending low under the white weight. A faint scent of coal smoke drifts from the chimney stacks ahead, curling past the windows in little wisps. The warmth within the carriage feels more precious against that sight, more intimate. You reach for the cup of tea resting on the small wooden table before you, its porcelain warm in your hands. The faint flavor of bergamot lingers on your tongue, soothing and floral, blending perfectly with the rhythm of the journey. As you sip, you think about how this train, this magnificent, moving palace, is one of the few places in the world where time slows without stopping. Built in the age of grandeur, the Orient Express connected the capitals of Europe like a silk ribbon of progress, running through mountains, rivers, and languages. Every carriage was designed by master craftsmen, each detail chosen to create not just travel, but elegance in motion. The corridor outside stirs softly with the muted steps of a porter passing by, his shoes clicking in time with the rails. He stops briefly at your door, ensuring the lamps burn evenly, then continues down the narrow hallway toward the dining car. The faint sound of crystal glasses clinking, a quiet laugh, the muffled notes of a piano, these drift toward you, distant and comforting, carried on the hush of the train. You rise from your seat, drawn by the soft pull of curiosity. The corridor feels like another world, a ribbon of golden light surrounded by the dark hum of night. Passing each compartment, you glimpse silhouettes of travelers at rest, a man reading beneath a small lamp, a woman sketching in her journal, a pair of friends sharing a quiet conversation in French. As you reach the end of the car, the door opens with a hiss, releasing a faint wave of cooler air. The dining car is nearly empty now, its chandeliers dimmed to a sleepy glow. You take a seat by the window, the soft clink of silverware echoing faintly. The waiter, dressed impeccably in black and white, offers a nod of understanding before bringing a small plate of brioche and warm milk dusted with nutmeg. You thank him quietly, your voice blending with the soft murmur of the train. Beyond the window, the snow reflects the faintest light, enough to show the curves of the landscape, deep valleys, frozen rivers, and the faint shadow of a distant village huddled beneath the hills. Tiny pinpricks of lamplight glimmer in the distance, each one a home, a fire, a story unfolding quietly in the night. The train passes through a tunnel, the world outside vanishing into pitch darkness. The sound shifts, echoing, deep, resonant, then softens again as you emerge into open air. You exhale slowly, feeling the gentle sway return, the light snow resuming its dance outside. You imagine the great engine ahead, painted black and brass, its wheels gleaming with frost. The fireman shovels coal into the roaring furnace, the glow of the flames illuminating his face in amber light. The engineer, gloved hands on the levers, watches the track ahead with practiced calm. Every motion, every sound feels deliberate, rhythmic, eternal. You take another sip of milk, savoring the warmth as it spreads through your chest. The music of the piano has grown fainter now, replaced by the steady pulse of the rails. You let it lull you deeper, your mind wandering between thoughts and dreams. The Carpathian Mountains rise higher now, their peaks lost in mist. The moonlight touches their slopes in flashes, revealing frozen waterfalls, steep ridges, and winding tracks carved through the snow. Each time the train curves, you glimpse the glowing line of carriages stretching behind, like a string of lanterns floating through the white silence. Inside your compartment once more, you find it dim and peaceful. The conductor has placed a folded blanket at the foot of your seat, and a faint scent of lavender lingers in the air, perhaps from the sachets tucked beneath the pillows. You settle down, stretching your legs, feeling your body sink comfortably into the soft cushions. The faint creak of wood and the whisper of wind at the window blend into one long, soothing hum. Outside, a distant wolf howls, its cry carried by the wind. The sound fades almost instantly, replaced by the rhythmic breath of the engine and the faint whistle of the wind against the train's exterior. You close your eyes for a moment, imagining the untouched forests rushing past, silver birches, tall pines, rivers winding like ribbons through the snow. Somewhere deep in the night, the train slows. You hear the faint hiss of the brakes, the low call of a station master, and the jingle of a lantern. The sign outside, just visible in the gloom, reads Brasov, a quiet Transylvanian town nestled beneath the mountains. A few figures step off, their breath visible in the frozen air, and others climb aboard, stamping snow from their boots. Moments later, the whistle sounds again. The train pulls forward, steady and sure, resuming its glide through the winter night. You open your eyes once more to watch the landscape shift and fall away, the last lights of Brasov disappearing behind the trees. The rest of the world has gone still. The Orient Express hums quietly through the white wilderness, carrying you onward toward Bucharest, through tunnels, over bridges, and across the unseen rivers of the night. You feel it in your bones now, the rhythm, the peace, the unbroken movement of steel and snow. You rest your head against the window, and the reflection of the carriage light merges with the drifting stars outside. Time softens, thought fades, the sound of the train becomes your heartbeat. The journey continues, unhurried, eternal. As dawn begins to glow faintly over the distant horizon, the Orient Express continues its descent from the mountains toward the plains of Wallachia, bound for Bucharest. The snow has thinned now, replaced by frost-dusted fields and bare orchards glowing faintly in the morning light. The rhythm of the train remains steady, but gentler, the metallic song softening as the rails straighten and the great engine breathes easier. You open your eyes slowly, the faint hum of the wheels guiding you back into awareness. The compartment is bathed in pale silver light, and the frost on the window glitters like tiny stars. Beyond it, the world stretches endlessly, a landscape of open valleys, frozen rivers, and distant farmhouses wrapped in thin curls of smoke. You take a slow breath, feeling the warmth of the compartment against the chill beyond the glass. The little coal stove at the end of the carriage glows faintly, filling the air with that unmistakable scent of warmth and wood. The walls creak softly as the train sways, and in that quiet movement, you sense the journey nearing its final hours. A knock at your door, and the porter appears with a tray. A silver teapot, a slice of buttered brioche, and a porcelain cup painted with gold trim. "Good morning," he says softly, his accent lilting. "The train will reach Bucharest before noon." You thank him quietly, and as he leaves, you listen to his footsteps fade down the corridor, blending once more into the heartbeat of the train. Outside, the light grows richer, the sky deepening to rose and gold. In the distance, you glimpse a stone monastery, its domes frosted and glinting, surrounded by slender cypress trees. Smoke curls from the chimneys of a nearby village, where small figures move slowly along snow-covered lanes. It feels peaceful, untouched, as though this valley has existed forever, unchanged by time. You think of the passengers who once took this route more than a century ago, diplomats, artists, poets, all drawn by the mystery of the East. For them, the Orient Express was not only a train but a promise of discovery, of elegance, of a world that felt boundless and new. Built by the Compagnie Internationale des Wagons Lits in the 1880s, the line connected Western Europe to the heart of Constantinople, carrying not just travelers but entire eras of imagination and intrigue. You take another sip of tea, its steam mingling with your slow exhale. The taste is delicate, floral, chamomile, and honey. The warmth settles you further, grounding you in this serene rhythm between dream and wakefulness. Every sound, every flicker of motion feels like a breath in an endless lullaby. The train curves through another valley, crossing a small iron bridge that glistens with frost. Beneath it, a river winds through a pale landscape, its surface glazed with ice. The whistle sounds once, a long, mournful note that echoes across the stillness, and you feel it in your chest, a vibration that seems to touch everything around you. Soon the land flattens further. You pass through quiet hamlets where children wrapped in scarves wave from wooden fences, and shepherds guide flocks through fields that glitter faintly in the morning sun. The world outside feels suspended between winter and spring, a threshold of seasons where everything waits for warmth to return. The last mountains fade behind you. In their place, the open plains of southern Romania stretch outward, vast, golden grey, and endless. Windmills turn slowly in the distance, their blades creaking against the quiet. The train, no longer climbing or descending, glides smoothly now, as if floating. You lean back in your seat and feel the motion lull you into a light, waking dream. Through the corridor window, you catch sight of the restaurant car once more. Morning light spills across the polished brass fixtures and the crisp white linens. A few passengers are gathered there, a French journalist scribbling notes, an elderly couple sharing coffee, a young woman gazing absently through the window. Their voices are hushed, almost musical, softened by the hum of the train. You wander in, finding a seat by the window. The waiter greets you with a small smile, offering more tea and a plate of sliced fruit. You thank him, and as he moves away, you rest your elbows on the table, eyes on the moving landscape. The reflection of your face merges with the passing fields, and for a moment, you feel both within and beyond the journey, part of it, yet floating above it. The rhythm slows slightly as the train nears Ploiești, a historic industrial town once known for its oil fields and early rail connections. You catch a glimpse of its old station building, arched windows, faded yellow paint, and a clock that seems to have stopped long ago. Steam curls from another train waiting on the next platform, its carriages lined with frost. A brief pause, a few exchanged glances between travelers, then your train lurches softly forward again. The journey's final stretch begins. The land ahead glows under the low winter sun, fields glimmering like glass. The snow melts into thin rivers, running alongside the tracks. The motion of the Orient Express becomes slower, more deliberate, each turn, each vibration, a gentle descent towards stillness. You feel the shift inside the carriage. The air thickens slightly, conversations quiet, footsteps fade. Everyone seems to sense the end approaching, yet no one wishes to disturb the fragile calm. You return to your compartment and watch as the city begins to appear in the distance. The skyline of Bucharest emerges slowly through the haze. The air seems to shimmer, golden and grey, as if the city itself is exhaling after a long night. The train glides past the outskirts, where bare trees line the boulevards and trams rattle faintly in the streets beyond. Finally, the wheels hum lower, slower. You feel the soft tug as the brakes engage, the weight of the carriage is settling, and the journey draws to a gentle end. The Orient Express sighs one last breath of steam as it pulls into the Gare du Nord station. You sit quietly, hands resting on your lap, feeling that strange stillness that follows long travel, the hush between motion and rest. The conductor passes once more through the corridor, offering a polite nod. For a moment, you do not move. You let the world settle around you, the scent of coal, the warmth of the cabin, the echo of the rails that still hum faintly in your mind. The journey has ended, yet the rhythm remains, soft and infinite, within you. As the train settles into stillness at Gare du Nord, the night's rhythm lingers inside you like a soft echo. The once steady pulse of the wheels has faded into memory, leaving only calm. The lamps within the carriage glow gently, their light warm against the chill that seeps from the platform. Steam drifts past the window in silver wisps, rising and curling into the pale morning air. You sit for a moment longer, still and quiet, watching the first commuters moving along the platform. Their footsteps sound distant, softened by the lingering mist. The air smells faintly of iron, smoke, and early morning bread from the nearby stalls. You draw a slow breath, letting the calm fill you, and feel your body grow heavier, more at rest. Outside, the city stirs awake. The bells of a distant church toll softly, their sound blending with the faint hiss of the cooling locomotive. Bucharest lies bathed in a thin veil of light, the domes and rooftops glimmering as the sun rises over the eastern horizon. The journey is over, but the stillness it brought remains, a quiet carried deep within you. You rise slowly, gathering your things, yet you move without hurry. The wooden floor beneath your feet creaks softly, the final heartbeat of the train. As you step down onto the platform, the air feels cold but kind, brushing your cheeks with the gentleness of new light. You glance once more toward the carriages, their brass fittings shining faintly, and feel a quiet gratitude for the long road behind you. You imagine the line stretching far westward, through mountains, forests, and cities that now rest beneath morning frost, and you realize that the Orient Express never truly stops. Its rhythm continues in memory, in breath, in sleep. The sound of the rails hums softly inside you, a melody of rest and distance, of stillness found through motion. Your eyes grow heavy again, the light gentle and dim. The steady sound of the city fades into the background, replaced by the whisper of the train's final sigh. The story lingers only as warmth and calm, no urgency, no thought, just the echo of a journey through snow and silence. Now, as you breathe slowly, evenly, your body settles into perfect stillness. Your shoulders rest, your arms soften, your breath deepens once more. The night's rhythm returns, not from the outside, but from within, steady, soothing, endless. The Orient Express has reached its quiet destination. The journey is complete, and now, so are you. Sweet dreams and good night.